That win over Iowa State, part of a perfect non-conference slate for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and it's always great to catch up with Hawkeye headman Kirk Ferentz. Kirk, what has impressed you the most about your team's 3-0 run through the non-conference?
Well, yeah, I think we've won in different ways pretty much every week, but the biggest thing, and this goes back to January, this has really been a good group to work with. They've had a really good attitude, very strong work ethic, and they really care about each other. So, I think we've seen good team football for 3 weeks. Certainly we have a lot of room for improvement still.
Certainly some good football on the defensive side, and that's an area where you lost an amazing amount of productivity in Josie, in the defensive secondary, where you've seen first-rounders go each of the last couple of years. So how has that unit picked up where so many good players left off over the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's kind of been interesting to watch them. We had some concerns coming in, questions that we didn't know how would be answered, and we still are working on that. But I think overall, probably the thing that we had a chance to be strong up front, and those guys have improved. And it starts with our veteran guys, but I think everybody in the group's really improved. Have a little more depth maybe than we thought we had there. So that's been impressive. And our two safeties, Jake Travas and Amani Hooker, have played well too. And so our veteran guys have played well. And it's a lot of our younger guys, our two corners, and certainly our linebackers. We've had 4 of them start now. Those guys have been able to fit in and take care of their roles. And right now we're just playing good team defense. But I think it's really been the veteran guys kind of leading the way for us.
Obviously, great to see a 0 in the loss column, but coaches will always find something to nitpick, an area that needs to be improved, an area that is a focus, especially heading into a game like the one you guys had this weekend against Wisconsin. Where is that area for you right now?
Well, I think we've got plenty. But, starting on defense, that appears to be our strength at this point, but we haven't played a team like Wisconsin. They basically have an NFL line. It's kind of like 99 when I got here. They're veteran up front, but more importantly, they're good up front. They've got, if they don't have the best running back in the country, certainly one of the best. We saw a great one from Iowa State. Now we face Taylor, who's just phenomenal. So, you start there. I think their quarterback's kind of an untold story. To me, you look at the season they had last year, and he was a quiet leader, a guy that really pulled the team together. So our defense has a big challenge on their hands. Then flipping it over on offense, we still have a lot of things we're working on. We're still kind of inexperienced up front a little bit, not quite pulling it together. And then getting our run and pass game to work cohesively, that's a challenge as well. So, we have plenty to do in that regard. And one thing I've been happy about that, again, we weren't quite sure how that was going to go, but our kicking game, I think overall has been pretty good. Our punter, Colton Rassetter, has done a nice job. Had an up and down last year. He's been a lot more consistent, and Miguel Rossenos missed a couple 2 weeks ago, but we're certainly counting on him to be a veteran as well. So hopefully our special teams will do a good job for us moving forward.
Kirk, when you discuss Nate Stanley and his development, how would you assess where he is in terms of stretching defenses and consistently being good with the longer throws?
I think sometimes all of us think he's been here 3 years or 4 years. This is his second year playing. Pretty much sat behind CJ 2 years ago, and now last year was his first year playing. So he's a returning starter, and I think if anything, especially in week 1 and week 2, he's pressing a little bit, maybe trying to be too perfect and just trying to do things too well. And even saw that in practice, but I thought last Wednesday was his best Wednesday practice, and I thought he played a little bit better last Saturday, and he had a good week again this week. So, all he's got to do is relax and just let everybody else do what they're supposed to do and then take care of his job. But, he's certainly more confident. He's seeing things a little bit better than he did a year ago, which you would expect. And you hope that's true to every position, but quarterback's certainly a little bit more of a focal point position. And quarterbacks make a lot of decisions, so it's very important that they're able to process.
Kirk, it's certainly fun for fans. I'm sure it makes it more of a challenge for coaches when you have 2 contenders, 2 of one division's top teams facing off this early in conference play. How unique is that in terms of preparation when you haven't seen Wisconsin against a Big Ten team? They haven't seen you against conference competition, and you are 2 of the teams that are expected to contend for that division title.
It's kind of interesting. We've had an interesting schedule this year. Our first game is the first game like everybody in the country, 2 teams that hadn't played. Week 2, we played a team that got rained out, lightninged out. So we had 13 plays to look at. That didn't take us long. And then a lot of projection in that game. And now week 3 last week, we played Northern Iowa that had a bye week in week 2. So it's really been kind of strange. This is the exact opposite. I think, we pretty much know who they are. I think they know who we are. That's good news. The bad news is we know who they are. They're awfully good. So I told our team, title talk, conference talk, race talk, all that stuff, that's for baseball in September. Right now it's a September game. It's a first Big Ten game. But we're certainly playing, I think, one of the best teams consistently over the last decade in college football, not just the Big Ten, but college football. So, we know we have a big challenge, and we're just going to try to focus on playing our best Saturday, and, we'll see where we're at afterwards. And, we've got a bye week to think about things and then go from there.
Lastly, Kirk, it is under the lights. It is at Kinnick. I've had the pleasure of seeing a couple of night games there against top 10, top 15 competition, and the atmosphere is as good as it gets. What do you expect from that environment Saturday night on Fox?
Well, that part's easy to predict. Yeah, Kinnick is always tremendous at night, and it's even better this year. We've got the new north end zone finished up, so it's really added, I think, to the an already very good atmosphere. It'll be electric in there, and but I told our players, our fans aren't going to play the game. We've got to go out and play it. If we do a good job, we'll keep the fans involved. If we don't, it won't be so good. So, that's our focus right now, is just trying to be ready to go at 7:35, 7:40, whatever time they tell us we got to jump, we'll do that. But, right now we're just trying to work on getting ready for a very, very good team and a big challenge.
Iowa head coach Kirk Ferentz helping us get ready for a game that is as good as it gets at this point in the year. Iowa, Wisconsin, Saturday night at Kinnick. Kirk, as always, appreciate the time. Great to catch up.
Likewise, Rick. Thank you.